do my hair. I guess it's only funny if I'm actually bald. I'm not. Oh, where are we going with this thing? Sorry, bear with me. Setting up. Sweet. Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, from the Bell. Decisions I'll regret later. Let's see. See if some people come on. I'm gonna do some stuff real quick. Oh. Well, it's been a week, man. Freaking been working on that workbench this week. I guess I'll show that. Hi, how's it going? I have the hiccups. Oh, it's the worst. Can't really see it. We'll make it work. Aha. Workbench. I had to get my chair. Only the finest of chairs from Harbor Freight. Not a sponsor. It needs to be. Oh, okay. Hey, everyone. Say hi in the comments. Give me one of those, where you're from, social security number, phone number, all that stuff. Oh. I have a bunch of crap I still need to move. But making progress on this thing. So, what I was working on this week, I was working on this workbench. It is a 4 foot by 8 foot workbench. It has openings on both sides. That's half of that 4 by 8. You can kind of see there. There's going to be drawers that go in here, 6 of them, so 2, 2, 2. And then over here, that's going to be like open shelf area. Other side's pretty much a mirror image of that. So that's what I've been working on. I did edge banding on the perimeter of this. You can't see it from there. There you go. Black melamine for the top. And I put some leftover mahogany around the outside. And that just absolutely, like on Friday, that tore my Friday up because I typically do like the edge banding big so that I can flush trim it around because like I like to clamp stuff to the side of the workbench and then like so having it nice and flat, you can clamp stuff to it. Well, went and I was going with the flush trim router bit all around. Everything was good until I hit like the very last side and like it just pulled the trim off of the plywood where I had glued it and nailed it and like just chewed it up like absolutely royally, like screwed it up, no salvaging it type of deal. So promptly threw it across the shop and left the shop at that point. That was the end of my day. But I came back next day and I fixed it and all's right in the world. I just ended up making it like I just kept planing it until it was the right dimensions to nail on the side. So you got to be able to adapt and accept defeat, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's the moral of that story. What's up from Fort Worth? Hey, what's up from Fort Worth? Technically, we're a little south of Fort Worth, but not by much. Fort Worth is the good part of the DFW. Dallas is an armpit. I said it. I stand by it. Um, Today's probably going to be. We'll just kind of see how today goes. I had some stuff planned. Some things changed, but yeah, we are neighbors for sure. Um, but pretty much want to talk about like last minute projects and last minute gifts um, for woodworkers and also gifts from woodworkers. Like, I don't know, y'all tell me, like, do you feel obligated to make people stuff because you're a woodworker or because you make stuff? Because, like, sometimes I feel that, but then at the same time, if I look for something to buy someone, my first thought is, I don't want to buy that. I can make that. And it really leaves you in a time crunch because you never have enough time to do those gifts, especially like when we're trying to make a living. Um, but crispy donut community. Hey, what's up, East Texas? I like that name. It's pretty cool. A crispy donut is the best donut. I'm a huge fan of Krispy Kremes. Diabetes. Anyways, but yeah. So definitely feel sometimes that obligation to make stuff right for people, even though I sometimes don't want to. Um, but it really kind of helps you like personalize the project too, right? So like I'm making some projects and I'm still in the process of that and they don't know about them yet because it's not Christmas yet. But I'll keep it anonymous. I'm making some projects for some family members that like this particular family member could probably buy whatever they wanted. So every single year, it seems like family members always have a hard time finding this person gifts, except for me, because I actually know this person really well and I know what they like and don't like. So I can make them something that they actually appreciate, or even buy them something that they actually appreciate because I know them so well. So it's a play off our professions and making fun of certain organizations. Same acronym. Oh, I definitely. So, do you make crispy donuts? Is that what you're playing on the profession, or what? Educate me on the. Or maybe you just send us a message if you don't want to throw it in the chat. But that's one that I definitely want to hear. Same acronym. I'll have to look that up. So yeah, gift giving. It's always hard whether you're a woodworker, whether you're making stuff. But what I guess throw in the comments like what y'all are like. What's your number one thing? And like, don't say cutting boards because that's a cop out. Um, like, are y'all making ornaments for people? I feel like gifts as an ornament for Christmas is kind of like giving fireworks after 4th of July. It's like, yeah, it's nice, but I can't really. It's not really for the occasion, you know. Knives and everyday carry business. Nice, cool. Um, so yeah, there's that. How was I saying? I get sidetracked easily. Makes for a really productive day usually. Um, so yeah, gifts are hard for people. It's hard for time. Um, I also feel like there's a lot of gifts that like people will put out there of like, oh, top fives or whatever of gifts. And they're just doing it to make a video, and that's fine, right? But like, if I see another Christmas tree made out of 2x4s at an angle, like instant unfollow. Want to see some cool crafts? What's your favorite thing to make? My favorite thing to make is the next thing, right? um, I like to make new things. I hate making the same thing over and over again. So, like, I don't want to make 100 cutting boards. I don't want to make 100 widgets or whatever. And there's people that do, and that's awesome. Like, I don't want it to seem like I think that that's beneath or below. I just, like I said earlier, have a really short attention span and like all lose interest in stuff really fast. So if I have something that I'm making 100 of, I will quickly get very sick of it. We made cutting boards and cornhole boards, and we made welcome signs for people, and those things were really cool. And I really liked getting creative with them, but it makes it to where like it lost like once I conquer that thing type of deal. Like once I like, oh yeah, look at that, I made it. I don't want to make it again type of deal. And that's probably more of a downfall of me, like because that's just how it is. I do have. Let me see if I can grab some stuff. BRB. Talk amongst yourselves. Ow. Okay, we're back. Okay, so chessboard or checkerboard, depending on what game you want to play. I'm sure there's other things you can play with it too. Um, these are epoxy and wood. We actually taught a class on how to make these at one point in a local area place, woodworking store. Dang, I got a splinter. It sucks. This one is Wing A on the outside. The middle wood, you can't really tell right now because it doesn't have any finish on it, but that is a curly maple. And the obviously the other part is epoxy. So that is one of the things that we've made. And I've made these for like Christmas and stuff for people before. They're super fancy. They're really nice and heavy. They're pretty thick too, especially once like you surface them and everything. They are really good gifts, especially if you have like a kid or something that plays chess, or if you have family members that enjoy playing board games or whatever. You can do different games. Obviously, it doesn't have to be chess or checkers or whatever. You could. There's a ton of different like games out there that people make, but these were kind of a can I make it and how easily can I make it type of deal. So what I do is these are all like I don't think they're exactly 2x2. They're a little smaller than 2 inches. And these are all little squares that I placed individually. And then I poured the epoxy into the cavity area. And the outside and the back are the form to pour the epoxy into. So, like, once you're done with it, your finished product is the form. So, like, this form on the bottom and the perimeter, so you can see some of the epoxy here, because this isn't finished. Um, but it's pretty cool. Um, these are really fun to make for people. I think a lot of people really enjoyed them. The biggest thing is cost. These are super expensive. Like to make. Epoxy is not cheap. It's probably the most expensive per board foot type of material that you can use versus actual wood. But it was a fun thing to conquer, right? So we got that done. We did classes on it and on to the next thing. So what else do? We do obviously cornhole boards and stuff like that, but I don't really have any finished in here. I just have some ones that I ended up remaking over in the corner. So those are just kind of hanging out. So bird's eye maple pool cue. That'd be pretty cool. I want to make a pool cue. I want to get into turning wood. I don't have a lathe, but I really want to learn it because I want to make. I have some projects in mind, pretty much, and I really want to make this happen. But I need a lathe. But right now, they're really just like hobby projects, and they're really not on the radar right now. Uh, it would be cool. Definitely, if I find a good deal on one and I have a little bit of extra cash, a little bit extra cash, that's a joke. If I have some money and that, uh, and that comes up, then I'll totally pick one up. Um, what are y'all up to? What are y'all making project wise right now? I know everyone's busy doing stuff. We are going to be starting some cabinets after I finish this. Less than $100. What? Oh, I think theirs are like two something. I don't think they're $100. They're lathes, but you can usually find them used pretty cheap. I think. I know there was a guy that had one. I think it was like an Excelsior lathe or something like that on Facebook, and it was like 150. I almost bought it, but I didn't. I don't think it's available anymore. But oh, those that watched previously, I talked about my truck being broken. Truck's now fixed. Fixed it today, so that's nice. Definitely thankful for that because I got to pick up a bunch of plywood. I was gonna have to have it delivered, and I'd rather not pay the delivery fee, right? So frugal. Um, we also had what else did I have? I had notes, but I forgot to like grab them. I don't prepare very much for stuff. Broke into. It was not broken into. It just broke. The turbo went out on my uh, truck, the engine, but just the turbo, and so I had to replace that and put a new one on. Wasn't a big deal. It's just another one of those things that took time away from other things I could be doing. Let's see. The Boss Dog funnels, if y'all remember those. I think I have one out here. I'll grab it. BRB. Were y'all looking at my mess while I was gone? Shame on you. So, if y'all remember these funnels that we made for Boss Dog, these were prototypes. I designed these. They are super awesome for refilling the bottles because the bottles do have a little bit of a smaller neck. So whenever you go to pour the gallons in there to refill them, this makes it a whole lot easier. It screws on. You can see there's threads in there. It's also baffled. I'm saying a lot. My bad. Bear with me. And it's got that flange in there, not baffle, that sits over the threads so that the glue doesn't get down into the thread area and leak out. It also has, as you can see here, like a little straw. This allows the air in the bottle to escape so it doesn't make the bubbles and glug, 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 or whatever out the top. Because once you screw this on, it is kind of like an airtight fit because it has that flange on the bottom to where that air has to go somewhere, and that's where it goes. So I designed this, printed them, and they are a couple revisions. The logo is a little bit different, but Boss Dog will be selling these on their website fairly soon. We will be shipping out the first batch, I guess, or whatever, over to them within the next day or so. And he should hopefully get those pretty quick and then get them posted. So if you have a gallon, you need to refill it. Definitely pick those up. And that leads me to our next topic of staying creative. So what I do, is once a week, I at least set, if I can't set a full day aside for it, I at least set half of a day or, a couple hours, whatever it may be, to do what I'm calling like creative development, research and discovery, whatever you want to call it. But it's time set aside specifically for me to solve a problem that I have in the shop, to come up with a better way to do something, to learn something better, whatever the task. It's free time for me to think about and be sane, think outside the box, whatever you want to call it. And that's where this came out of. That's where my dust collector Frankenstein deal over there came out of. Um, that's where they're not around here, but it's like a little glue tray that I made came out. And I think it's really important for us, like even as makers, as even as normal business people, like to set time aside to be creative, to think about the things that you need to do next. Not like need to do next, but like things that like will make you better next, I guess is what I mean. Like if we do the same things over and over every single day and we do them the same way, I guess, then you're never gonna change. You're never gonna get better. And that's why like I think it's really important for me to set that time aside, because if I don't, then I'll never get better at those things. I'll never grow. I'll never learn new ways or better ways to do stuff. And I think for y'all, like for us as a whole, that's really important. Some people just things come fluidly to them as they do their day, or they have time set aside every single day, whatever it may be, or they can just kind of do that stuff and flex it throughout their day. I can't do that. I need to have like specific time for it. So that's one of the things I kind of just wanted to harp on with y'all is like set time aside to be creative, set time aside to think about a different way to do something, even if it's a simple like, okay, I normally make this joint by, sawing this at the bandsaw. Well, maybe I can do this with a different tool. Maybe there's a better way to do this. Maybe I don't need to do this joint here at all. Instead of doing a pocket hole here, maybe I can do something else. What other options are out there? And you could literally spend that time just looking on the internet at the different things that you could do instead of pocket holes for something. Um, and you might do all that time research and whatever and realize that the way you're doing it is probably still the best way, and at least now you know that and you don't have to question yourself. So what is this book? he, I don't read. No, I'm just kidding. Adam Savage has a lot of really good concepts on this stuff, like his first, I'm trying to get to his first order of retrieval or whatever it is for like tools. I've been keeping that in the back of my mind as I've been trying to tame this mess that is a shop. That's why I put up my French cleat wall over there. And that's why I put all my clamps over there as well, because I'm usually normally gluing stuff up over there and it's usually like pretty easy to grab and put up. Before I was just throwing them in a pile almost pretty much on the floor. It was underneath a bench, but like wasn't organized. But I need to read that book. So do one of these in the comments. Every tool is a hammer. Okay, cool. Ooh, an audiobook. I need more audiobooks because it's been a while. I think the last one I had on audiobook was Extreme Ownership. A really solid book. Definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend getting a hard copy after you read the audiobook so you can go back and reference things that they talk about. And that helped me a lot whenever I was working in a corporate-ish type job. I was doing leadership training and everything, so like it helped a ton with that, with my growth in that. And then you realize there's not a lot of people in management that go by that. They say, "Oh yeah, extreme ownership," and then they point their fingers at other people. That's a story for a different day. Yes, driving in Texas is literally it's measured in time, and it's usually a minimum of 30 minutes, right? So that's that's always how that goes. And whenever I before I quit my job, I was a insurance adjuster, and I was a field insurance adjuster. So I was always driving around and going to different people's houses and whatever throughout the day. So a lot of time on the road, and I just ate up podcasts and audio books and stuff like that during that time, mainly podcasts. And man, you can destroy like an archive of podcasts in a couple weeks in Texas because there was times where I would drive an hour between houses. Uh, I think one time the most I had between, and we're supposed to be local, right? But like the most was like I think 4.5 hours on the road total, and I still had to do 4 hours worth of work after that. So it a lot of driving, plus the time on site and everything. Those were easily 12-hour days. I don't miss that. Um, now I'm just always working, but it's for myself, so it's okay. It's fine. So I'm thinking about. Let me ask y'all something. Who has one of these pencils? The Pika Dry. And what are your thoughts on it? So tell me in the comments what your thoughts are about it. I have my thoughts. I bought this after I bought the knockoffs, and the knockoffs are definitely worse than this pencil. But I love this pencil from a design aspect. I think that it's very well designed, except for the sharpener being on the clip thing. It's like you got to unsecure it to sharpen it. But it fits really nice. Like that's just a nice friction fit. I don't think it has a place in woodworking. Yeah, there is a delusional state of telling yourself that it's okay. But I don't think these have a place in woodworking, and that's my hot take. And y'all can debate me on that, and that's fine. You can be wrong, but I think that mechanical pencils, like .7 mechanical pencils, just your standard Bics, are way more functional than this. I think this is a gimmicky thing that has no place in a workshop. I think this has more of a place on a construction site than it does in a workshop. And here's why. It has this like what is it? Does it say? I don't think it says exactly how wide it is. I think it's like a millimeter, 2 millimeter or something like that. I think is the lead. It's a Pika dry pencil, is what it's called. But the lead, let's see if it'll like. There we go. The lead on it is so wide that you have to sharpen it still. So it has a sharpener, and it gets dull. So like now it's pretty much just a carpenter's pencil. And a carpenter's pencil, like you can get a carpenter's pencil super sharp, and I think it holds the edge, the tip rather, better than these do. These are like super kind of once you get it pointy enough to like be precise, it becomes just as fragile as a mechanical pencil. It does look like a shading pencil for sketching. It is very similar, I think. I think that's where the lead comes from, maybe. but it's a really thick. It would be nice for someone to like hit the middle between this and a mechanical pencil, like a 1 millimeter or something like that. Um, but my main concern or issue with it is as it gets dull, your line moves further and further and further away from the ruler, tape measure, whatever you're trying to mark, and you can't get a precise mark anymore. And it rounds over, and then it becomes just as blunt as like a carpenter's pencil. And then it's like, well, a carpenter's pencil is like 80 cents. These are, I think this is $15 for this. And like, granted, you can fill it up with lead and refill it and all, but the lead is more expensive than a carpenter's pencil. So that's my hot take. So if you are thinking about asking for this for Christmas, maybe take it off your list, or maybe get it. I don't know. You might have a totally different experience than me. But I bought a 30 pack of mechanical pencils for less than what that one cost. So, and I'm always losing pencils. County Com, they have some amazing. All right, I need to look that up. Have y'all seen? So Festool has like mechanical. I think it's a mechanical pencil, or even just like a regular pencil. It's made by, I think it's Blackwing is the company, because it says like Blackwing X Festool. So it's like a collab or something that they're doing. I don't know why I nerd out on this stupid stuff, but it's a like a fancy looking Festool pencil. As per usual, I would expect nothing less. And I want it. It looks cool. It doesn't. They're not like crazy expensive. I want to try it. I like trying things, but it's just a pencil. If I buy a $15 pencil, I'll buy whatever that is. So, but I don't think there's anything special on it. I think it's just a pencil. I don't even think it has like any special functions. I think it had a fat eraser on it though. That's the only thing that looked pretty nice. That's the other thing. There is no eraser on this. It might as well be pen. Like this top. Yeah, there he goes. Top comes off and it's just to feed more lead into it. It doesn't even have an eraser. It's like dumb. Oh. So yeah. Don't be afraid to venture out though on like some stuff. Try things. Always meet those people that are like, oh, this is the same way I've been doing this for 30 years type of deal. And sometimes that's the wrong way to do things. Not on everything, but like sometimes. So if let's see, what's a good, I have an analogy, but I'd probably get like be a demonetization type thing. So let's see. Oh, I bought, you can't really see it. There it is. I bought a Craig Foreman. I didn't want to. I wanted to get like a fancy pocket hole machine, which some might say that that's a fancy pocket hole machine, and it's not. Yes, Case and Buck knives are not good knives, especially now because they've been bought out. Case might still be okay, but like in a like an old timey like, yeah, this is my grandpa's Case type of deal. But yeah, Buck knives are trash, man. They are not good knives. Sorry, like check comments. Your eraser is the rubber on a tape measure. That doesn't always work, Mitchell. You can use like the Stanley Fat Max as an eraser sometimes. But if that rubber gets really hard or you rub the same spot over and over a little too much, then it starts smearing. And then you have a bigger problem. So it doesn't always work. But I like where your head's at, and I've definitely been there. That was definitely what we did in training in the military was, oh, this rubber right here works. Other stuff. Yeah. I have a very casual obsession with knives. I've used some of them. I have a zero tolerance. I don't remember the model off the top of my head, but it's a super basic looking knife, but it has a beefy blade. and I abuse the crap out of that thing. That's a way better pocket knife than most all the other pocket knives I've carried. I had a what was the one? Oh, who made it? It's one of the Cricket CRKT or whatever, and it was one that didn't. It just had like an in flip thing. It was really cool. It looked really nice, but it was like a dress knife. It had zero functionality. It was super fragile. It might be the 0350. But yeah, ZTs are nice. Those are good knives. Kershaws are good too if you like don't want to be upset about losing it. Gerbers used to be good. They used to be good. They're not like terrible. I have some Gerbers that are kind of like on that same level of like, you know, I can use this, it'll hold an edge pretty well, and I also won't be upset if I lose it type of deal. CRK TCEO. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the one. CRKT knives are like very cheap though for what they are. Insane like that. I would say those two are on the same level. That and Gerber, they're pretty good though. Like as far as like I said, like it'll hold an edge way better than like your cheapo knife. Uh, and you won't be upset if you lose it, unless it's like sentimental. Um, those are like the ones you forget and TSA takes them. Yeah. Well, if only I knew someone at CDC that could send me a knife. Honestly, I'd have to look though. I I need to do a little snooping on your old page there. 20 years ago, yeah. There's a lot of whenever I had just gotten out of high school and I was like all up in eBay, and I one Christmas I bought everything that like all my gifts. My parents gave me pretty much creative freedom on what I wanted because they were tired of. I'm very particular to buy for. Uh, and everything I bought was off of eBay. It was a very interesting year. But I bought some Gerber knives off of eBay. Gerber knives. This is like whenever counterfeiting that stuff really started coming in, and they were all counterfeit. They were all junk. Oh no, I know that. So Advance Auto and CarQuest are cutting a lot of stores, is what I heard. So like on the automotive side, repairs and everything. So we're talking about. Um, they they are shutting down a lot of stores. There's a lot of stuff kind of closing right now. It's a pivot turn right now in the economy, in my opinion. Uh, but hopefully it'll change pretty soon. But right now, there's a lot of places that are closing up. It's kind of sad. But yeah, CarQuest and Advance Auto, they are cutting stores, and they're kind of I think they're one and the same. It's just a different name. Um, they'll saw to replace this, right? Oh, Bosch got kicked to the curb for that Hercules. Yeah, it will get better in a few months. I feel maybe a little longer than a few months, but like it should hopefully be on the better side of things. Replaced it with that. The dust collection on it's been decent. Um, I bought the Shop Nation dust collector deal. I think I talked about that last time too. And I added the rubber piece that I had because they ship out one, and I printed that. Is too short, so like some of the dust still kicks past the dust collection on that Hercules. But it's a pretty simple fix. I'm just waiting for them to send me the new part so I can finish what I was doing on that. I was making a little video on it. Nothing fancy. Companies, sink or swim, turning point in the country. Yeah, 100%. Get woke, go broke. But also, like, yeah, it's just a tough time right now. I think there's a lot of companies realizing that, and it's a great time to start your own company. um, So, yeah, there was something else I was going to talk about. Yeah, that Foreman though. It's faster than the manual thing, pocket hole wise. Definitely fan of that versus like the little jig. I think you can find those used on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace pretty cheap, but um, I would. I don't think I would buy the manual thing. Like, I think I would recommend for someone to just buy a Foreman instead of like the manual thing, and then maybe get like the little mini. I don't know if y'all seen those, the little mini pocket hole thing, and you just clamp it. That was actually what I started on in uh, like the very first project I did was some Adirondack chairs, and I bought the cheapest Craig jig, which was like the little mini mobile clamp it onto your work pieces individually type of deal. And I didn't want to buy the Craig screws because I was like, those are expensive. For 100, I'm paying $10. This is outrageous. So I bought generic wood screws, and it was a total disaster. They the whole thing was wobbly, and it didn't last very long. Will PVC attachments work for your dust collection? Oh yeah, man, definitely. Crispy Donut community, hit me up on Instagram, send me a message. I'd love to chat with you about some stuff, and I also want to check out your page on these little knives you make. Will PVC attachments work for your dust collection? Yes. That's what my whole shop is plumbed with. Right here, down here. Don't look at that electrical. It's not code. No one cares. Yeah, all that is PVC. That is, I guess you can see it on the wall too. Yeah, kind of. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see it right there. So that is all PVC. It is, well, it's technically HDPE. I'm falling. Oh, okay. So it's this stuff. This is triple wall HDPE sewer pipe. It's nothing fancy. It just sounds fancy. This is rigid wall, uh, like drainage pipe. You'll find this in the lawn and garden section at like Home Depot or Lowe's. A lot cheaper than PVC. This is a 4-inch pipe. This 4-inch pipe, I think, costs $25 where I'm at. And if you get the same 10-foot section or whatever at of actual PVC, it's like $50. So like half the cost for this. And then all the fittings are a lot cheaper. They are like the Ys, the WYEs, which are straight down, and then like the Y, they branch off. I have those pretty much everywhere in the shop. There's one there. There's another one behind here. And those are like $10 versus the actual like 4-inch PVC ones. Those are like 30 to $40. It's the cheapest route, and this stuff's smooth inside. It looks corrugated on the outside, but this is smooth wall, so all your dust and everything will run through this, no problem. But they are different sizes, so like don't think that your 4-inch PVC fittings will fit 4-inch sewer fittings and all. And it works just as well. This stuff is also lighter than PVC pipe, so it's a lot easier to get in place if it's just you doing it. And I mean, it's better, in my opinion. I haven't had any issues. The only issue that I was concerned about was if it was going to like crush. But this stuff is like, it's pretty robust. Like, that's me like really getting on it. So definitely recommend that. I will have a video out on dust collection probably within the next week or two, going over my seat's sinking. There we go. Going over the Cyclone that I did, the Harbor Freight upgrade that I did over there. the filter box, the routing of the PVC, um, all the fittings, and everything like that. So I have that edited roughly. Just need to do some fine tweaks on it and do a voiceover on it. But that's gonna be a pretty cool video, I think. Got real mad scientist into it. I didn't design. I made a uh, sensor for telling me whenever the bucket was full. I 3D printed a bunch of parts for it, and yeah, it's just a whole thing. But it's pretty cool. I've just been at the whim of whatever gets thrown away on job sites around town, like material wise, or like you're trying to like cobble together some PVC for like for a dust collection. Because growing up, I used to always hit up those wood piles, and I would I would take the scrap 2x4s, and then at one point I took things that weren't scraps, and that was unfortunate. I don't steal anymore. That was the only thing I ever stole in my life. My parents made me go back and apologize to the contractor. Rightfully so. It was a really stupid thing. But yeah, man, if you have a PVC collection, then fittings become a lot more manageable to buy then at that point. Because you're not having to buy the pipe anymore. That's really the most expensive thing. Sort of. If you have a bunch of shorts of PVC, then fittings to extend and sleeves and all that could be expensive. But if you're able to kind of get it all, you know, pretty long stuff, then I could see that being worth it. Just kind of depends on how you want to lay everything out. I did a lot of thinking on like laying this out. I didn't want to put this post in the middle of the shop, but I'm glad that I did now that I have it here. It's not nearly as obtrusive as I thought it would be. Um, and it's very functional to actually like hold the PVC on the post and have the electrical drop coming down there. Um, but it's definitely a commitment because I had to run power to it. I had to put the, I had to route the PVC over to it. It's pretty cool. This place was a dump when we got it. There was one light in here. I think I've said it before on the live, but there's one single light bulb in the middle, and yeah, it's still dumpy. But there was a bird that flew in here the other day. I was like, "Get out of here!" There's a couple holes that need to be patched. So yeah, uh, holiday projects. If you haven't finished yours, you better. Oh yeah, you totally use a heat gun. The middles of the 4-inch pipe is like cellulose though, like it's foam. So those are, I think sometimes that can like become an issue. But you're not like running water or anything through it. You're just using it for dust collection. I don't think you'll have an issue. Um, yeah, holiday projects though, definitely get those done if you haven't already. I got some stuff I need to start on. I don't procrastinate. Who procrastinates? Not me. So, and then definitely keep that creative time. You'd be surprised at the stuff you come up with. You might sit there the first time and be like, "This is dumb," and then you end up on your phone. It's okay, I guess, but not really, unless you're like looking at something to like make yourself better. Try to make yourself better. Always be bettering yourself. Was that ABC or something like that? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this off here. I'm gonna go inside and finish up some stuff. Finish up printing some funnels, and I'll catch you guys later. We do these every week, every Sunday at 8:30. I might change the time. Haven't decided yet. It's a little tough, a little tight. Us getting back home at 8:30. We do church in the evenings, so it's a little tight. But appreciate it. Love talking to all you guys. You guys give me really good thoughts. I don't know why I pointed to my jaw. My head's up here. Really good thoughts. And I just like meeting new people and all. I do plan on having some guests on within the next couple weeks, at the very least. Um, couple woodworkers, and maybe a couple non-woodworkers. We'll see. Um, but yeah, appreciate you guys. See y'all later. Thanks for watching. All that fun stuff. Oh, and we have a Patreon, but I need to put the link somewhere. I'll put it in the description if y'all want to give some minis. It's okay if you don't, though. All right. See y'all later.